Welcome to the Circumference app. This app is designed to lead the students to the connection between the diameter and the circumference of a circle. This will lead us to encounter pi, and finally to the formula connecting the radius to the circumference. This is the diameter of this circle. To make sure, we can click it once. And then click it again. Now we can ask the class, if we want to wrap the circle around with diameters, like this one, how many of them will we need? The answers may range from 2, 3 to 4, or maybe 2.5 or 3.5. After the students give their suggestions, we click Add a diameter to the circumference. And the first diameter came in. From here, it's already obvious that the answer is not 2 because the diameter, of course, doesn't cover half the circumference. It's also clear that the answer is not 4 because the diameter covered more than a quarter. So at this point, it's a good idea to have the students give a refined guess. Now, the answers will range around 3. So let's click again. And again. Now we see we need a little more than 3 diameters to cover the circumference. Now the question is, how much more do we need? Half a circumference is obviously too much, or maybe a quarter, or a different fraction. We can call a student to the board and ask him or her to move the scissors to reach the correct length that is missing. So for example, maybe this. Let's click Add the last segment. And it's a little bit too much. Let's make a small adjustment and try. Maybe a little more. And fine. So what part of this is the diameter? Well, to get a better estimate, we click Show Dividing Lines. Now, we can change this counter to divide this line. So now it's divided into 2, then 3, then 4. So here we see this segment is less than a fourth. Now we could ask the class what part they think it is. For example, if this is a fourth, then this would be around 1/8. And it looks a little bit more than an eighth, but we could see what estimations the class would come up with. After that, let's continue increasing this number to a fifth, sixth, and seventh. And we see seventh is a good estimation. It's important to emphasize, of course, that the answer is not exactly 3 1/7, but something close. Now we can introduce pi. So let's click the pen and write pi. The diameter fits in the circumference pi times, which is about 3 1/7. We can also change the division here all the way to 10, and now we see a tenth is 0.1, and a half a tenth is 0.05, and a little less than that is 0.04. This gives us the other approximation of pi, which is 3.1, which is this tenth and almost half of another tenth, 4. Now, let's make the connection to the formula that brings us from the radius to the circumference. So if we have r, the radius, then 2r is the diameter. And we multiply this by pi to get the circumference. And this is usually written as 2 pi r. Students may object that we only made the calculation with one circle. So we have the button Create a New Circle. Let's click it. And we have a smaller circle. We can go through the same process again here. Add the diameter, add again, add again, add the last segment. We can already do the dividing lines first. So we have a seventh. Remember, it's only approximately 3 1/7. And of course, this will always work. So we've reached the formula, connecting the radius of a circle to the circumference in an intuitive way. And we were introduced to pi. We hope you enjoy using this app in class. Thank you for watching.